Well, hello, everyone. This is Dr. Ayleen again, and this is Medicine Walk. So, what we're going to be doing is today we're going to be talking about the idea of what is it that we need to do in order to make our dreams into realities. This is Medicine Walk. And so, I am going to be talking about the idea. Oh, echo. So, what I'm going to be talking about is the price. And that's why I called today's episode and today's walk Worth the Price. Because everything has a price to it. Everything that we want, everything that we do, we're going to need to put some energy into it. And yes, sometimes all the energy we need is to just show up. Sometimes the only energy we need is to just be present and to be open to it and to believe that it's okay for us to receive. So, one of the things that has always been an important part of the work that I do, and for my personal work and for the work I recommend, is that part of what is my responsibility in this. I will be in partnership with, as I say, creator, however you want to hold that. You can hold that for your, in whatever term you want. And this is about a partnership. This is about me doing my part and the universe doing their part. So the universe doing their part is, in a way, it's the easy part and the hard part, because that deals in trust, that deals in faith, that deals in, I understand that the universe has my back. And sometimes that can be really, really tricky, because especially if you're not someone who trusts easily, or maybe if your trust has been damaged, and maybe you're not so believing that the universe has your back. And if your life path has led you that way, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry that you've gone through hard things that made you think that maybe you're alone in this, that you're not protected, that you're not loved. I believe that you are protected, and I believe you are loved, and know that I have love for you. And that's unconditional. I don't say that lightly. I have love for you because you're here and you're present. And I believe that we're all a part of each other. So if I'm going to love myself, I have to love all of you. And the best part about that is you don't have to do anything. You don't have to believe in it. You don't have to do anything to earn it. Just know that it's there. So that's the universe's part. Now, what is our part? What is the price that we pay for making our dreams come true? Because there is work that we have to do. And one of the things is that we have to figure out, what is it that is keeping us separate from what we want? What is it that is that block leading to our dreams of what we want out of life, what we want to do, what we want to be? So as we take a look at this, I want you to think about those things that you want more than anything else. What is it that you would love to see made manifest in your life? What is it that is important to you? What is it that makes your heart sing? Not so much as, oh, I have to do this and have to be serious. What is it that will bring you joy? What is it that will make you smile when you wake up in the morning? I am totally blessed to have a job and a career and a life where every morning I get to wake up and go, okay, I get to go do this. And I think it's cool. So what is it that your soul is just saying, hey, we need to do this because it just makes us happy. It gives us fulfillment. Think about that. Then think about what it is that's blocking you from it. It may be that tremendously well-meaning, but unfortunate input that you get from family, friends, loved ones saying that you can't, saying that it's not practical, saying, well, you can't make a living off of this, or giving you all the reasons why you can't. And see, that's really the first price we pay for making our dreams come true, is being willing to face those things and moving forward anyway. Because that's usually where the dream dies. That's usually where it stops. Because once we start piling up all the reasons why we can't do it, why it's not feasible, why it's not reasonable, then we take all the energy out of it. We take all the passion out of it. So you start realizing, okay, I'm going to do this. Then it just becomes a matter of how. And when you're thinking about how you're going to do something, don't keep it in that great big, ultimate dream. Break it down into small pieces. There's an old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And it's going to take a while. So the idea that you break down this big, amazing, wonderful dream into pieces that you can be able to manage and a timeline that is very realistic. So how do we figure out things like that? Well, one great way is to talk to people who have already done what it is that you want to do. If you want to be able to run a marathon, talk to people who run marathons and find out what it is that they do. Get their realistic advice. Now, always remember, advice is just that, advice. It's information. It's their perspective. So if somebody says, well, you have no business running a marathon, that's no reason to quit. That's just their opinion. Take it for that. And then go talk to somebody else and say, you know what? I like your style. I like your spirit. Let's teach you a way that you can do this. Let's help you find a way. It's going to take a while, so you're going to have to be tenacious, but you can do this. And those are the type of people you want to talk to. Those are the ones who help you see the dream because they remember when it was just a dream for them. A lot of times I'll be talking to people and it really is, it touches my heart. And if any of you ever see me out anywhere, if you're in the area, please come up and talk to me. If you're anywhere near my office, stop by and if I have time, we can chat, or if I don't, we'll make time. But the idea is that I love interacting with folks. I love connecting. And when we have a chance to sit down and talk, and they start telling me about all these things they want to do, even some of the stuff that's similar to mine, it's like, oh, well, you did it, but I couldn't do that. And it's like, okay, stop right there. If I did it, that proves that you can do it. All you have to do is be able to believe in yourself, to be able to accept that, there may be a few false starts. I'm still a work in progress, and I don't know anybody who isn't. We're all still trying to figure it out. And I'm not the same person that I was 10 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. I've learned a lot, and I apply what I learn. And I use that to keep that dream alive, to keep that idea in my head. Hey, one day I'm going to do, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to travel here, and I'm going to travel there, and all of this other stuff. That's that dream inside of me. And each year, as I achieve things, I wanted to go to the Brazilian rainforest. Well, I got that. And I was able to do that and had an amazing time. And then to go to Africa and Costa Rica and to go to England. And each time I set something, because the big dream is to be able to connect with my spiritual practices to a greater depth, to be able to connect with the universe, to be able to connect with Creator, to be able to serve, and to be able to help other people find their way too. To be able to have people feel confident enough to get up and publicly speak in front of others. Now, as you can see, I don't have any notes. I generally just get up here and give you guys my heart. And I share the words that I feel within myself. This is my truth. And so some people get a little bit intimidated by that. It's like, well, I can't do that. And I couldn't speak the way you do. It's like, you're not meant to. You're meant to speak the way you do, to be able to come from your heart, to become able to come from your spirit. It's just a matter of learning how to be able to do that. But still, it's just something that you gain with practice. And that is the second big price of making our dreams come true, is practice. Doing it over and over again, not giving up, being able to say, hey, I'm going to set a discipline for myself that I am going to do these steps each day, each week, each month to bring me closer to my goals. And that's something that we need to do. We need to make that commitment. We need to find that thing within ourselves that when we don't feel like getting up, we don't feel like doing something, that little thing that'll say, yeah, but it's going to be so cool when we get to this point. It's going to be so cool when we make our goal. And this is bringing us one day closer to it. And that it's enough to bring you up and bring you out and say, okay, yeah, I can do that. Whether it's sitting down and writing a chapter of the book that's been sitting in your heart for years, that, I mean, I did it. I sat on a book that wanted me to express it, and I was afraid. And so I sat on it for years, and then I brought it out. So don't do what I did. Find that place within yourself where you believe in what you're saying. That story that you want to tell, it needs to be told. There's a reason why you're feeling called to it. There's a reason maybe why you've experienced some of the things in your life that you've experienced, so that you can share it in that way, or that you can get up and speak to people about it, especially if your path has been hard, especially if you've had one of those walks that no one would envy. One of the things that can come out of that can be very positive is that you can share that and let people know that they're not alone. Let people know that someone understands what they're feeling, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you can be that light. So if you've got that thing inside of you that's been waiting to be shared, the part of the price is that you got to share it. And you've got to practice it. You've got to practice speaking publicly, or maybe you've got to have the discipline to sit down every single day and make sure you write for an hour every single day, or get up and start practicing for that marathon each and every day. Once you break down what you have to do, you need to be able to commit to the practice of doing it and doing those steps. Not easy. And it's not something that you're successful at every single day, which leads to the third price, being able to forgive yourself for not getting it right the first time. To be able to say, you know what, I'm going to have to take a few shots at this. I'm going to have to give it a few tries. But just because I can't achieve it today does not mean I'm going to give up on it. I can't achieve it today. I may achieve it tomorrow or next week or next month, but I am willing to wait. I'm willing to do everything I can to be able to bring myself to move forward and to be able to achieve what it is that I want to do. I'm not going to let anything or anyone get in the way of that. The next price, we're up to 4 prices, is being able to be adaptable. You cannot make a dream happen if you can't flow with where it's going. I mean, maybe you set it out, all right, I want to run an Ironman marathon, and I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. Well, maybe you get what you need, because, ultimately it's about, why do you want to run it? Well, to show that I'm fit, to show that I'm doing that. Well, maybe you can do that another way, because sometimes, okay, if your dream is to be in the Olympics and you haven't trained and you haven't done anything, but your dream is to be in the next Olympics, okay, that's probably not going to happen. And you can also be able to figure out what you are truly looking for in that goal and make it happen another way. Being able to adapt to the dream, because it's not about achieving the goal. It's about the journey that took you to achieving the goal. That's where all the really cool stuff comes in. And that's the part where we mess up occasionally, and we regroup and we move forward again. But don't ever let anybody take your dream away just because, oh, well, see, you tried it and you didn't make it. Well, I tried it this time. I've got another round tomorrow. I'm going to take this back on again, because this is something that I'm going to do for me. This is something that is important to me. And whether anybody else understands it or not, you need to do that. You need to respond to what your spirit is telling you you need to do. And ultimately, when you put your enthusiasm into it, when you put your joy into it, when you get excited about it, when you show your commitment to it, all of a sudden you're going to notice people are starting to change their minds. They're going to start becoming supportive. They're going to start looking at you like, wow, they're really serious about this. And then they start adding their energy to yours. And that's a very cool moment. But whether they do or not, this is your dream. This is about you. So make it about you. Make it about what you need to do. One of the toughest prices for making a dream happen is the idea that you have to take full and complete responsibility for the entire journey. Yeah, it can't be about, well, I would do this, except for he is doing that or she is doing that. It's not my fault. We take responsibility. The buck stops here. And when you are working with a dream, and once again, having to adapt, having to be able to keep your eye on the prize without having to lock yourself in, that, oh, well, if I go down this road and it doesn't lead anywhere, I can't backtrack. I can't go back to, it's like, okay, well, let's regroup. Let's go back to, that other point, and then we'll take another path. But ultimately we'll get there. You have to be willing to take that responsibility. You have to be willing to say, you know what? My dream either lives or dies by my choice and my will and my passion. And that's the bottom line. It's great to get help, and you can get huge help. The passion needs to be yours. And I know you have that passion. I know that passion is inside of you. I know that there is something, whether it's a big thing or whether it's even a small thing, but there's something inside of you that is saying, you know what? Yes, I want to be expressed. Maybe it's something artistic. Maybe it's, well, it could be anything. But there's something inside each and every one of us at some point that wakes up and says, you know what? It's time for us to do this. For some people, it's taking a spiritual pilgrimage somewhere, when they just say, you know what, it's time to do this. The concept of the Australian walkabout is that when a moment strikes you in your spirit that says, all right, it is time, and you just walk. You stop, you don't go and plan anything, in the true tradition of the indigenous peoples. You don't do anything. You go with the clothes on your back, you go with whatever you have on you, and you walk, and you keep walking until you meet yourself. And that's a very powerful moment, which is, it's really becoming self-aware, really knowing who you are. And sometimes that happens when we have to face adversity. So be prepared that the universe may throw some blocks in front of you, because when you have to fight for something, it makes it that much more yours. It makes it that much more powerful. When you really have to work for something, when you have to say, no, I am not giving up on this. I don't care how much is going against me. And you make that choice to stay focused and say, you know what, I'm going to achieve this. I'm still going to make this. I'm still going to achieve this. When that happens, it is the most amazing thing. It really is. And I want that feeling for each and every one of you. And, the world's kind of a crazy place right now. And there is a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of concern. One of the best ways to deal with that is to decide on your dream. You know what? My dream is going to make the world a better place. My dream is going to bring happiness. My dream is going to counteract shadow. It's going to counteract the negative energy. It's going to counteract the stuff that brings energy down, and we're going to bring energy up. And we're going to do that starting in my own heart. When my heart becomes lighter and more energized, the whole world does. When you're in your good, happy place, and you're in that place of love and excitement and enthusiasm, that's when everything just really becomes much brighter and much lighter, and the burdens become a little less heavy. And then we see other people who are catching on to it, other people who are lightening up, other people who are walking around smiling for no reason. The people that smile at you and say, hey, have a nice day. Those are the people that it's like this little hidden club. And that club is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because people are realizing it doesn't matter what is going on in the outer world. that is beyond your ability to control. Don't put energy in something that you have no control over, that you have no ability to influence. Because what's going to happen is going to happen. What you can do is direct your energy where it will create a big influence, which is in your own state of mind. Because as your state of mind shifts, so do the states of minds of others. So we can become catalysts for a very positive energy and create a time that is not about, oh, we're worrying about what's going to happen and who's in charge of what and all of this other things, and turn it into a big, huge opportunity that this is going to be a renaissance for dreamers. And that's a very cool thing. That from all of this, there's going to be this amazing transformation where people are going to go, you know what? That doesn't matter, because I'm going to write that book I've always wanted to write. I'm going to sing that song I've always wanted to sing. I'm going to dance in a way that I've never danced before. And I saw this thing that, there's the old saying, dance like no one is looking. And it was a Native American statement. And it said, dance like everybody is looking. Dance like your ancestors are looking. Dance like your loved ones are looking, like your children are looking, like your parents are looking, like all of your people are looking, and dance for them. This is our time to dance. This is our time to shine. This is our time to say, you know what? I think it's about time my dream come out. I think it's about time I take that trip to wherever it is that you've always wanted to go. And you break it down in pieces and you decide how you're going to manage it. Let's say if you've always wanted to go to India or Tibet or wherever it is you've always wanted to go to. Figure out, what is it that you will need to go? What is it that is blocking you from going? And what is it that you have as resources to be able to get past those blockages? It can be just as simple as that. The price of making your dreams come true is very well worth paying, because when you get on the other side of it, you are going to see a whole mountain of other dreams that are possible, other dreams that you're going to want to make come true. And maybe it's not even a dream for you. Maybe you see somebody else who has a dream and you decide to help them make their dream come true. And you become that catalyst for a whole lot of really cool stuff in the world. When we can hold hope, when we can give each other hope, when we can stand in the eye of the storm and say, you know what, storm, forget you. I am going to be fine. My community is going to be fine. We are all going to be fine. And oh, by the way, in the process, we're going to be making dreams come true. We're going to turn all of this into a giant rose garden. And yes, every rose has thorns. And yet it doesn't take away from the beauty of the rose. It simply means that there's a balance. So this is about being in balance. This is about finding that place within yourself. This is about figuring out a way, even if you just pick one small, tiny dream, just one. And it could be anything simple. Maybe you've always wanted to know how to make gumbo, or maybe you've always wanted to know how to bake, or maybe you've always wanted to learn how to crochet. Whatever it is, it can be a big dream or it can be a really small one, because even the little, small, simplest dreams, once they come into reality, once they become a part of everything, once they're turned loose in the energetic field, it brings happiness. It brings energy up. It brings us to a place where we can look at each other the way we did when we were in kindergarten, and we're all making little things and we're looking at each other going, hey, look at what I made. Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh my gosh, look at what I made. Oh, that's really neat too. And then we can have a chance to do that because we haven't done it for a very long time. It seems that there's a point where everybody's worried about what's theirs, and that, well, this is mine and you can't see it because you're gonna copy it. No, It's about taking the joy of knowing that we are able to share, that we are able to bring our own dreams to fruition, inspire others who are having similar dreams to say, hey, if I can do this, you can do this. And for you to be able to say, I made this at the end of it. And then look at all the dreams that you can continue to make. Well, if I did that, then maybe I can do that dream too. This is the time of dreamers. This is the age of dreamers. This is the age of manifestation. And what we manifest is what we put our energy behind. I trust that the universe has my back. The universe will do the universe's part, and I will do my part. And together, we're going to create something cool. And so will you, because it is in you to do. It is, I wish that I could be sitting right here with you and holding your hand and looking you square in the eye and saying, you can do this. I believe in you. And I do. I've never met you, and I believe in you. And I always will. Because I know inside of you is something amazing. Don't give up on it. Don't let anybody take that away from you, because no one can. It's worth the price. And it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be fun. And I would love if you would post in the comments, what is it that you would like to do? What is it that your dream is? What is it that you would like to achieve? Receive that support. And receive the acknowledgement. And if you log on and you see someone else's comments and they're commenting that what they want to do, encourage them. And let's encourage each other. You can go onto Facebook. We have the Facebook group, Medicine Walk with Dr. Ayleen. You can post your dreams there so that we can all share in it and support one another and give advice. If there's something you don't know about to achieve your dream, ask. And we'll be able to help each other, because I'm sure somebody will have an idea on what you can do. But don't give up. Don't get disheartened. Don't let all of the stuff and all of the noise and all of the chatter take you away from the fact that you have an amazing talent inside you. You have an amazing heart, and you have an amazing dream. And it deserves to be shared, because that makes everything better for all of us. So thank you for joining me again. I will be back next Thursday, and you can like, comment, subscribe, and share if you feel that somebody could benefit from this. Just join in. Like I said, we're building a community. We're building a community of dreamers that are going to change the world, and you're a part of that. So you can follow me on Twitter. And you can also join up, like I said, the Facebook group. And if you have anything that you want to connect with me personally about, you can email me at medicinewalkwithdrayleen@gmail.com. And you can also go to my main website, my office website, which is www.the-healing-house.com. So, until next time, I wish you balance, and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. I love you.